So I finally got the chance to see Last Night in Soho, directed by Edgar Wright, released in 2021. And I have been so excited for this movie. Ever since the first trailer has come out, it has been my most anticipated movie of the year. And I'm very excited to finally be able to talk about this. I do want to say real quick, sorry for not really having it uploaded in the past week. I just have not had any time. So hopefully I can get back to uploading now. But yeah, let's talk about this movie. As always, let's start with the good, and the biggest thing is that Edgar Wright still manages to bring a super unique style to the film, even though this isn't the type of movie that he normally makes. And that includes stuff like the incredible cinematography and soundtrack. This definitely has a different feel than something like Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz does because it's not that type of movie. He's going for more of a horror thriller type thing here. And it really works. It works really well. He nails it. I wasn't 100% sure how he was going to make it his own completely because a lot of his style from the other movies come from visual comedy and working, different visual things in for jokes, but he can't do that anymore. So I was really interested to see how he did that, and he really pulled it off great. He did a great job with that. Also, all the performances are fantastic. Thomasin McKenzie and Anya Taylor-Joy are just as great as I hoped, but everyone else is great here as well. I really liked everyone. Again, I think Thomasin McKenzie and Anya Taylor-Joy really stole the show here, but the side characters were really well acted. There was never a moment where I was questioning how real someone was because of the performance. Next up, the first two acts are phenomenal. They're phenomenal and serve as a perfect build-up for the third act. It is just the first two acts is just a constant, kind of gradual build towards this third act, and it does that perfectly. It keeps you on the edge of your seat the entire time. It's super interesting. It's super engaging. Just phenomenal. Pretty much perfect. The third act isn't quite as strong as the first two, but I still think it tied everything together well, and a lot of people have been complaining about it, and I mean, I guess I see why, but I still really liked it. I had a good time with it. While the actual score is nothing too special, the soundtrack is phenomenal and literally never feels out of place, and that's another thing Edgar Wright is so good at doing. He is fantastic at picking when to use needle drops in his movies, and this is no exception. Every song that he picks really fits the mood of the scene, really fits the movie super well. And finally, I think this is easily one of the most creative premises for a movie I have seen all year. Just the premise alone had me completely sold on this movie, no matter who was directing it. It just happened to be directed by Edgar Wright, who's one of my favorite directors of all time, so I was even more on board with it. But man, just the premise alone is really fantastic. Now let's get to the bad, and I just want to say, like I said earlier, the third act is a little disappointing compared to the first two. It just kind of fails to keep all the incredible momentum that was built up from the first two acts, but I still liked it a lot. I just think it could have been a little better. And that's legitimately it. That's all the bad things, and this is a super short review. Oh my god, I've been recording for 4 minutes, and I still have to edit my audio, so this is going to be a really short review. But yeah, I loved Last Night in Soho. I highly recommend you go see it. If you can't see it in the theater, it will be on digital very soon, next week, I believe. So please go check it out. It's phenomenal. So yeah, that's about it. I'm going to give Last Night in Soho a 9 out of 10. It's a great movie, and it's one of my favorites of the year so far. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all of you guys in the next one.